2 weeks ago today, you're introduced as the new head basketball coach at Iowa State. What have you kind of learned since then about this university, this group of guys, this program?
You know, going into it, I had educated myself a lot on what this town was about, what this university was about. So, I've been asked kind of, was there any surprises? No, there's not really any surprises. The town's been great. I just needed some money at the bank a minute ago, and they wouldn't cash a check for me. And I had a lady stop me who works at the rec center, and she's like, "Hey, I'll cash it for you. Just write the check to me." And so there's just a lot of similarities from where I came from in Murray. And it's just the people here are really good people. They want a relationship with the basketball coach here, and I know that's my responsibility. But I enjoy doing that. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy giving back. I enjoy being part of the community. And so the kids have been great. I know I'm not coming in here to try to change the world. They had such a great admiration for Fred, and they should. Winning programs, you're going to have great relationships with those coaches. And so I just want to get invested with these guys. And George, Jamil, Naz, all those guys, I don't want to leave anybody out, but all those guys have been great. And we're just going to build this relationship from here on forward.
Take me back a little bit to your journey, like when you started coaching and how you got the fire to be a head coach and making those sacrifices earlier in your career. Why was it all worth it to you at that time?
The financial part really never comes into play, to be honest with you. I know it's great. It obviously helps your family and everything. The reason I'm excited about being at Iowa State right now is opportunity to try to beat Kansas and Oklahoma and, play in the Big 12 tournament and, play at the highest and compete at the highest level. But the journey, you go through a lot of bumps in the road on the journey. I started at the smallest Division I school in the country as a volunteer assistant. Thankfully, I was working with a great man in Billy Kennedy, who's the head coach at Texas A&M, who we play this year. So I guess it was a sign for me to get this job. And then you go from there to Southeastern, and you're still living in a dorm room. And at some point, you ask yourself, man, is this really worth it? But the relationship with the guys and the highs are so high that it just keeps you coming back for more and more. And then I got the opportunity from Murray to be the head coach. If I didn't get the job, I was fine just going to Texas A&M as an assistant. But I got that opportunity and was very, very fortunate to get that opportunity. And then we made the most of it. And then that parlayed into being the head coach now here at Iowa State. And I'm really excited. There's a lot. It's a whirlwind going on right now. Living out of a hotel, that's part of it though. Come the fall, everything will be settled and in place, and we'll be going in the right direction.
How'd you kind of get it in your blood? Was your dad involved in coaching? Or
that's the funny thing. Nobody in my family is really sports guys. My mom wasn't. She was a teacher and for a long time. Then she substituted one day and was in PE class and tore her knee up, in basketball. And, so she wasn't really a sports person. And then my brother, he never really played sports, outside of tackle football in the backyard as a kid. He swam on the high school swim team, and then my dad really wasn't. I was 7, 8 years old, and my buddy in town, his dad played on the NC State team in the 70s that won the national championship. And so he always had me and his son. We were in basketball, and I just loved it. And, I grew up in an area right by Georgetown, right by the University of Maryland, and ACC, Big East. And I just grew up every Monday night. You just watched Georgetown. That's what you did. And, man, I loved it. And, I was going to school and trying to figure out how to watch the NCAA tournament during class and sneaking out of class or begging the teacher to bring in a TV into the class to watch it. And so, man, I've just always loved it, and it's been a passion of mine. And I was always a decent little player in high school and everything, and had some small college offers, but wasn't a great player. We all think we're going to go to the NBA, but I just loved the game, man. I love watching it, and it's something that's just always been in my blood for some reason. It's funny because my family's really not a sports family. They are now.
You've assembled your staff here. Tell me how you think they'll work together and bring different strengths to the table and end up being a successful staff for you.
I think they're great. I think they all I think I've got a good balance. For me, I think I got a good balance within the staff to have great chemistry. The biggest thing I wanted guys that had a feel for Iowa State, had a feel for the Midwest junior college recruiting. I didn't want to lose Southern ties. I wanted some continuity both here and then within my staff from Murray, and so I think we'll do very good things together. It's not, it's just like me with the team right now. It's not going to happen overnight. But last night we went to dinner as a staff, and as we get to know each other, and I know already. Mike, I've known him for a long time. Daniel Robinson, I've known him for a while. Neil Berry, I coached. William, we've worked together for years. And then TJ, I know a lot of similar people, and so I like my staff. And the biggest thing, it's not about me being a head coach and them being assistants. We're a staff, and our job is to do the best we can by these kids. And that's what I think these guys can do. I think they can invest in these kids on and off the floor, and that's important to me.
You look at the challenge you're taking on. The other 9 coaches in this conference average 423 wins in their career. They've been to 6 Final Fours. You're obviously not ducking anybody, but that probably tells me a little something about your level of confidence in your own abilities and what you feel you can do here.
I looked at something the other day. I mean, there's some big time stats about these coaches in this league. Like the first question of the press conference was about Kansas and how you're going to stop them from winning the 12th championship in a row. And this is a great opportunity for me and for my staff to go against the best, night in, night out, coaching, recruiting, developing players, all that. And, coming from a school like Murray, though, I think it prepares you because we've played great non-conference schedules. We've won in the tournament. We've beat very good teams. And so you got to stay humble throughout your success, but we do have a great deal of confidence that we can step in and compete at a high level.
What's the number one thing you want from your players right now?
I just want accountability. I want them to be open to really investing in each other and investing in me and our staff and just building a great relationship. Because the stronger our relationship is, we'll be able to weather any storm that hits us throughout this season.
You mentioned it earlier. You mentioned some of the older guys. Coaching transitions, they're not always smooth. How much has it helped guys who've kind of carried themselves as leaders from the day they stepped foot on campus, guys like George Niang and Naz Long? How much have they helped this program in the last month, even before you arrived?
They've been great, and George sent me a text message right after he heard I got the job, and that meant a lot. Because I said, man, if one of your best players or your best player, I don't want to say who our best players, but one of your best players shoots you that text, you're like, all right, man, he's about the right things. And I text all these guys just to check on them, but the leadership's been great. Naz can't work out right now, but he's at everything. He's talking. He's into it. George, Jamil's making progress. Abdul's making progress. Monte's got great energy. Matt, Deontay, those are just 7 right there. If we can really cultivate them 7, get everybody healthy and build up to 8, 9, 10, then we'll be able to do all the things people are saying.
A couple weeks here, Monte's going to get the opportunity to try out for the Pan American Games team representing the United States. How big is that opportunity for him?
That's huge. I told both these guys, we were fortunate at Murray to have a couple guys go and play in the Nike camps and all that. This is great for them individually. It's great Iowa State has a player going to the Nike camp or going to the Pan Am game, but this is about you right now. This is a great opportunity for Monte to go against the best, to be coached by Mark Few and a great coaching staff, but he also has a chance to maybe represent the United States, which would be unbelievable, just for long-term success for him. And so whether he makes it, whether he doesn't make it, it's going to be a great opportunity and great experience for him. And I wish him the best. He's getting into shape and I'm actually going to send one coach out there for a couple of days to be with him out there.
In August, you're going to take your team to Spain. How important of an opportunity is that for this unit right now, especially given that it's your first year on the job?
My first year at Murray, we went to Canada, and so that was it's good, and not just the basketball. It's good to be able to just coach with no pressure, and just to learn each other and figure out how to interact with them, but just all the other stuff. We're going to do an amazing race that's kind of patterned off the TV show that we did in Canada a couple years ago that my kids loved, and it just guys working together. We had a bowling tournament. Just little things like that. That's more of the stuff you go on those trips for than the 10 practices and the 4 games. Because once you get back in August, take a week or 2 off, them 10 practices, they forgot about them anyway.
I can tell from your press conference and just from talking to you that family is very important to you. your family's making a big leap of faith here and moving from out of their comfort zone. How's that transition gone, and how soon do you feel like everything will be settled here that Ames is home?
Yeah, you know, this is the first time in a long time that I've had to make myself uncomfortable. Not that just from a professional standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know, we had great success, so you're challenging yourself every day in that regards. But I could have stayed there forever and just rode it off into the sunset. But at some point, you got to get uncomfortable to take the next step. So personally, I'm ready for that. But I got a wife and a little one who was born and raised in Murray 30 years, my wife, and so I've got to be very respectful to that. And so I need to be here for her during the transition. It's not going to be easy. If I said it was going to be easy, that would be a lie. But she's a basketball junkie. She's the most important thing in my life, her and my boy, and they want to be here and be a part of this. And so once we can get through this summer transition and we can get a house, we can get moved in, then everything will be back to normal. But it is a leap of faith, and I've got to trust in the man above that he opened this opportunities. Really, to be honest, when I talk to the people, my guys that challenge me with my faith and staying strong in my faith and in my walk, is that he gave me this opportunity to reach more people and impact more people, and I got to trust in that.